Quick public announcement. I have a message for Treyarch I would like to deliver. Cunts! So the Black Ops Cold War beta dropped for the first weekend, and at the time of recording this, it's closed, but it's going to reopen for Xbox and PC, and with all this crossplay shit this week. I already made a complaining video on the Cold War Alpha, because that shit did end up pissing me off, although most people were praising it. I didn't think I'd be doing the same with the beta, because I just assumed the only difference would be a few extra maps, and we'd have to level up, because that's usually what happens in a beta. However, I'm not going to be only shitting on this game. I'm not going to only be explaining why I hate every single person that even exists on this planet, because I'd be lying if I said I've had zero enjoyment on the beta. Don't get me wrong, I did have like 10 games in a row where I just wanted to kill myself, but there were some things that I did enjoy. But I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't going to be 99% hate towards the entire universe, because praising things is just for dickheads. Now, as I said, I was expecting a few new maps, but I guess I forgot that this is COD developers that we're dealing with, and you know what that means? That's my fault for being a retard. One new map is all we got, and guess what? It sucks dick. Actually, it's not the worst thing in the world. Cartel on 6v6 is pure ass, but play that shit on 12v12 and it is so fun. Jesus Christ. My best games on the beta have been on the Cartel 12v12, and I'll tell you, it wasn't because the lobby was full of retards. It's because Cartel is small enough to be a 6v6 map, but they actually put the large numbers on that map. It's chaos, but it's so good because it's so much action, it's hard to be bored. You know why Ground War is so good? It takes the smaller maps and puts the extra players on it, so you can get more kills, bigger feeds, and just always have momentum when you're going on a streak. But when you have big maps made for those bigger numbers, for some reason COD developers do this thing where the map aren't actually a good size for these big numbers. A modern Crossroads may as well be battle royale maps. I hate how big they are. Never let someone tell you that bigger is better, especially if you have a tiny dick like me. 12v12 doesn't feel like a 12v12 on those maps because they're so fucking huge. I know people that think the design of Armada is cool. Oh look everyone, it's a map made of not 5, not 10,000, but 3 cunting boats. If Armada was only the middle boat, then it'd probably be one of the best maps in the game, possibly one of the best maps in the Black Ops series, and Crossroads, remove it from the game. Make it a part of the next Warzone map, keep these fat bastard wank ass maps out of multiplayer. They are trash. We don't need tanks in multiplayer. When I first played this game, I kept saying how this game feels unbelievably clunky, and I still stand by that. However, I will admit I'm retarded, right? You know, everyone else's dad may leave them, but I'm pretty sure mine dropped me on my head when I was born. But for once, I played half my games on Cold War with motion blur on, which really one thing that can just fuck up the feel of a COD game. Yeah, if you didn't know, turns out on the alpha, you had to constantly turn off the motion blur every single game, which I didn't even know about. And oh yeah, there's also FOV sliders for consoles now. I turned that shit all the way up, and oh my god, everything felt so much better. I mean, I felt like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog with how fast it all felt, and it just changed everything. The game no longer felt clunky. It all felt amazing. I now understand why PC players are constantly just looking down on consoles, because goddamn, they suck dick. I mean, I spent half the time just running into people and blindly rushing everywhere because I felt so aggressive and just thought I could do anything. And even though I was dying a million times over, I wasn't even mad. I was just in love with the feel of the game. But okay, as much as I do like to eat Treyarch's ass every so often, the gunplay still did feel very stiff. I hope that's something that can be fixed, or it might be because I didn't have the right attachments on guns. I know in Modern Warfare some guns also do feel a little bit stiff when they have no attachments. And speaking of attachments, leveling up guns takes the fucking piss. In Modern Warfare, you can notice that your guns, when they are level 1, will level up really quickly because of the gunsmith and the fact that there are more attachments than there are people on Earth. Cold War also has a shitload of attachment, but what's the point of them even existing? Because by the time I get my MP5 maxed out, COD 2023 will be out. I know that it's not because I've been sucking dick. I've had 40 and 50 plus kill games on 12v12 and I just get no weapon XP. It made it really difficult to have fun with the weapons because it just felt like I was using the same boring piece of shit game after game and couldn't do anything about it, because no matter what, you don't get enough weapon XP for the fact that there is a gunsmith. The new score streak system, I don't actually mind too much, but what I do mind is when there are massive cunts that just take those away. There's attachments on the snipers that can deal a shitload of damage to streaks. Why do I even bother getting a gunship? It'll be destroyed before I even get a chance to use it. Also, if you should watch Martin's vid if you want to see how fucked this attachment really is. But seriously, nerf this please. Speaking of snipers, in the alpha, those things were really good. Honestly, when it comes to Treyarch games, the sniping is never really good, but Cold War Alpha, they were good. People were loving them. Yet it turns out they did that on purpose. They could just crush everyone's dreams. They made them OP so that they would know how much they need to nerf them. That may be one of the biggest just fuck yous to the multiplayer community. Also, they decided, hey, you know what? We may be Treyarch, but we're still COD developers, and as we all know, COD developers don't like doing good anymore. They made it so that you get kicked out after every game. This wasn't even a thing on the alpha. Treyarch, you let me down, man. I believed in you and you let me down. Why the fuck do COD developers just like to screw around with everything that's not broken nowadays? And I bet this is all to do with skill-based matchmaking, which, by the way, I swear is a million times worse than it was on Modern Warfare, because skill-based matchmaking is still the work of Nazis and needs to die. I don't think there is much else to say. We still got the second weekend of the beta to come. Right now, the only thing I'm excited for multiplayer in this COD is Nuketown. Better be fucking Nuketown in this game, Treyarch, or you're all officially dead to me. You know what? If COD developers were trying to do everything right, there would be 100% less AIDS in the world. They keep choosing to just fuck around with the standard shit that is literally perfect and try and innovate. And if I'm being honest, if you can't think of any type of innovation that will only make the game better and fans happy, then does it even need it? If the COD developers felt less pressure to always be making sure that CODs are fresh in every single way, I think all COD would be just fucking amazing. But at the same time, Treyarch, you cunts.
Start me up, open my eyes,